Yeah.
Tego and Sewa Guego. My name is Angelina.
Yá'át'ééh, and I'm Delilah, and this
This
is
is the
the
first
first
episode
of the Auntie Hotline
Hotline
Podcast.
Podcast.
We're so good at this. All right, do you want to give your little background of your education?
And like where I'm from,
Yeah,
who's the wise what? Yeah,
your
yeah,
mom, your dad.
yeah. So birth certificate.
Okay, so I'm Navajo or Diné from the Navajo Nation. I grew up on the Navajo Nation. I'm not gonna say where. That's gonna get too specific,
Mm.
but it was definitely dusty and it's got a lot of mountains. I graduated from my high school on the reservation, and then I went to Haskell Indian Nations University and I got my associate's degree there. And then I went to another university where I got my bachelor's of film and bachelor's of linguistics. And now I'm getting my master's of indigenous studies at the same university.
Mm. Dang. I was kind of gonna,
I know, super smart,
yeah,
even though I can't say
yeah.
certain things.
Okay, well, yeah. So I'm Ganya Gehaga. I'm Mohawk. I'm enrolled at the Akwesasne Reservation. I did grow up in the city though. I grew up in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, cool. City native.
Urban Indian. Yeah, so I grew up in the city. Um, I lived there until I was almost 17 years old,
Mhm.
and then my family moved to South Carolina. So I have both the experience of having like being in the city. We were close enough to like the reservations, like Seneca reservations. Um, there was literally one in Tonawanda. It was the Tonawanda reservation with the Senecas. But moving down to like the South was such a different experience, such a different exposure. And then I went to school in North Carolina. So I went to school at the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. I got my bachelor's in American Studies and a minor in Gender Studies. Um, and then I went off to grad school. So I'm a grad student now, and I work closely with topics like Indigenous data sovereignty, Indigenous feminisms, Indigenous agency policies, stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is cool. I see most of my experience is I grew up mostly on the reservation. There was a couple times where I was off of it
Mhm.
for school and like other reasons. At the time, I didn't know what those reasons were, and then you get older and you get into the adult tea situation of where you learn all the adult stuff.
Yeah.
And then I learned why I was always like, "Hey, you gotta go here," and I'm like, "Oh, it makes so much more sense." And then I think after I graduated, I did live off the reservation in Phoenix, Arizona for a little
Hmm.
bit, and I lived mostly with my dad though, so I wasn't really. It's kind of like how I am now, where I don't leave the house unless I have to. So I
Hmm.
only left to go to work and I didn't do anything else, or if I wanted to do something I wanted to do. So my connection with my tribe was always just with my dad.
Hmm.
And then I would just go home on the weekends with him and I
Hmm.
would just, hang out there, or unless I couldn't go home on the weekend. So
Yeah.
I think that's like I'm very much just a res kid. And then
Hmm.
I left and then now I'm here. That's so funny.
Yeah.
What made you want to study data sovereignty though?
Um, I think an even like broader question would be like why like Indigenous
Mhm.
studies? I think so. It's a crazy story. I did not want to go to college. Oh my
Me too.
goodness. I
Ah!
our
Both of
paths
us.
just like
I feel like we both didn't want to go to college, but then college was so right for us for some
yeah.
reason. It's so weird.
Cause I wanted to join the Red Cross.
Yeah.
No shit. I was
You
determined.
were just
I was determined to go save koalas in Australia. I was determined because in I think it was 2019
Mhm.
was when there was like wildfires in Australia, and I was seeing pictures of like animals being burnt.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh,
I
this
wanna
is
just
my
I
duty."
need to save
I was like,
them.
"This is my responsibility as an indigenous youth. I
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
sign my life away to go save others." Like, I really thought that it was the most humbling shit ever. Told my parents because they asked me what my plans were after high school, as
Mhm.
parents do, and I told them. And my dad was like, "What do you think the Red Cross is?" I was like, "I get to travel. It's almost."
I get to travel.
And my dad was like, "You know it's military, right?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "But, like, I see that they're helping, like, Australia and,
Yeah.
like, the fires and saving animals," and my dad was like, "You think you get to pick where you going?"
They're
He's
like, they're sending you to Africa
yeah,
or somewhere
they're like, "You going
they
to
need help.
Korea." Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Whoa."
Uh,
But so then I was like, "Well, I don't know." And my mom and dad were like, um, "You have an opportunity that neither one of us had.
yeah.
You're smart. Like, you did very well in high school. You're doing well. Let's look at colleges." Because I took my, what is it called? ACT.
Mhm.
Scored a 18. Don't know what that means.
I don't know. I think I got a 21 when I took it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means
I don't know
either.
what that means.
Either we're really dumb or really
Yeah,
smart.
I think it's average. But then someone
Well,
told me they got a 30 and I said, "Oh,
you're like, "Oh,
wait.
so I'm
Let's
stupid."
see. What?"
Yeah, a 19.4 is, like, the national average. A score of 23 or higher is generally considered good. We weren't even considered good, Angelina.
Well, let me tell you something.
I will say, like, tests where they score you
Yeah.
does not equal you're
Intelligent.
smart.
Yeah.
It's just what they think you average out to.
Well, this is a good example of like why I didn't want to go to college.
Yeah.
Because so in New York, they have New York State testing.
Oh, yeah.
And that is well, education in New York is very like you gotta get that shit done. And I was like, I mean, I was a smart kid. Like I was very knowledgeable. Like I
Mhm.
liked learning. I mean, I would read Magic Treehouse books and I would read the like what was it? I survived books. And I'd be like, oh cool, tsunami. Like how did they happen? But I had a substitute
Mhm.
who because my English teacher was pregnant, of course. So she was out on maternity leave. So we had a sub for half the year.
Yeah.
And biggest bitch. Biggest bitch. And she was just starting off.
Yeah.
But she was such like a rude teacher
Mhm.
because that's when we took our New York State testing. And she didn't like some of his kids
I
because I'm not gonna say it's because of her race, but it seemed like it was because
sounds
of
like
our
there's an
backgrounds.
underlining.
Yeah. Um, but she basically told my mom that I had to go into more slower paced learning classes.
Like remedial math,
Yeah.
reading, and all that stuff.
And
That's so rude.
my mom was like, "Why?" So she showed my mom that I like failed certain sections of the New York State test.
Mhm.
And my mom was like, "So you want my child to be behind?" Even though literally my entire time in school they wanted to push me ahead because I was kind of above the average in the class.
Yeah.
So they wanted to bump me up and my mom is like, "I've never once heard a teacher tell me that my daughter needed like, you know,
Yeah.
aid to learning because she's always been on top of it. Like she's
Yeah.
always been smart." And so she recommended that to my mom and my mom told her to go fuck herself.
Ooh,
Cuz my mom
okay.
like my parents like they're good parents cuz they would get
Yeah.
and harp on me for certain things. But when it came to like my intelligence, they didn't let anybody question
They
that.
didn't fuck around. They
Yeah.
advocated. They're like,
Yeah.
"She's smart, we know."
Yeah. I mean, my dad calls me like his little golden child. So, I mean, it's a lot of pressure.
Mhm.
But so I didn't want to go to college because of experiences like that.
Okay, yeah. I definitely understand that. I've had 2 experiences that made me not wanna go to college, and also because it made me fearful of, like, this is how people off the reservation perceived me, so that means
Mhm.
I should never leave.
Yeah.
So I grew up with uh, like the unified school districts on the
Mhm.
reservation. So we're not really the best, like we don't have the best equipped classrooms.
Mhm.
And there's like 30 people in each classroom, one teacher having to deal with all of that. It's a lot for them. I know that now. Like when I was a kid, I was like, why can't you do it? This is your job. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, you guys should have help. You guys should have
Yeah.
teacher aides actually to help you out with all of
Mhm.
these students because you're just one person.
Yeah.
But I grew up on the reservation, and on the reservation, this is gonna be really embarrassing, but so we had our Arizona, like, state testing, which is AIM. It's called AIM, which is funny. Our
Okay.
AIMS testing, and they don't do it anymore. They have a different type of state testing now,
Mhm.
which because of one of the experiences I'm gonna talk about, I had to retake the state testing, so I had to do it twice. But on the reservation, I was, like, in the top 10% of people for my school in my
Mhm.
school, and so they said that we could throw water balloons at the teachers
Mm.
for all the people that got the top 10%. That's the top 10 people in our school because and we're the non-athletic, non-coordinated people. So we're in the gymnasium. It's everybody in the school in this gymnasium. And they went, I need these 10 people to come down because they are the ones that got the highest
Mhm.
scores. It's all of us top 10%. They give us the water bottle, like the water balloons,
Mhm.
and we're trying to chuck these at the teachers. They're not making it across the gym. And it's so embarrassing. And it's funny though, because the teachers have to move forward.
Mhm.
But in that sense, I was really, really smart to those people.
Yeah.
So then when I left the reservation for 1 year during my junior year of high school, I got put in like because of my test scores at Arizona on the reservation, they went, "You're really smart. So you should be in college level courses." So
Mhm.
they put me in the higher math class and they put me in like the higher English courses. And dude, is it a humbling experience to really see how smart you are compared to other people in different states?
Mhm.
Because I went into that course and I felt dumb. I
Mhm.
was not comprehending anything. And so they were like, we're gonna have to put you in like a
Yeah.
lower math course. And I was, or like a lower like something. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I swear I'm not dumb. Like what is going on? And it's mostly just because they have different standards at different school
Mhm.
districts that I went, I'm not the top 10% in this school district standard. I'm
Yeah.
like mid mid range because I can be smart, but I'm not that smart. And but in this one class, my English class, this teacher, she like we were reading poetry
Mhm.
and we were reading it and we had to annotate it. I like annotating with color coordination. So I like took my little sticky notes and they're too big, so I started like slicing them in half.
Mhm.
And she comes up to me and she goes, I need you to stop messing around and do your work. And so she took my sticky notes away from me. And I went, but that's the way my brain works.
Mm.
So when parent teacher came around, she told my guardian and she goes, so she's folding notes in class, she's not paying attention, like she's not even doing her work. And so I got grounded and I was told that I needed to do better
Yeah.
in school. So then when I was having someone at a college level read my papers and edit it and I was still getting Fs,
Mhm.
there was something else going on. And it's
Yeah.
because that teacher didn't like that I was not someone that followed God.
Ah.
So she put her religious beliefs on me in a public school setting.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you want to do that? Go to a private school. Do not do this in a public school because there's different people of different beliefs and you can't
Mhm.
push that on other people.
Even
So,
yeah, even when that is, like, behind such, like, false information,
yeah,
I had oh,
it angered me so much. So I failed the first time ever. I
yeah.
failed that English course and I was so upset. Like I cried at parent teacher conference and I ran to my physics teacher and I told him everything that happened and he was so great. He was such a great advocate. Like
Mhm.
science teachers, man, they're such weirdos, but they're such like the best people I've met. And then the one that really made me not want to go to college was when I was in my senior year. I was in an off the reservation school and I was about to graduate because I was like, I want to graduate from an off the reservation school because I think that on a college like admissions, they'll probably think of it differently. Like, this is how
Mhm.
my mindset was going as a teenager.
Yeah.
And come to graduation time, 2 weeks before graduation, I'm talking to my counselor because she's like, "Oh, I need to talk to you." And she goes, "You're missing 1 credit for you to graduate." And I went, "I'm sorry, what?" She's like, "Yeah, you're missing, like, 2 half credits, which make to 1 credit. So you're missing, like, 2 half semesters of, like, schooling." And I was confused because I was like, "How do you do that?
Yeah.
That sounds weird." And so I was like, "Well, why didn't you tell me about this? Like, you're my counselor. You're supposed to be up to date on all of my things." And she goes, "It's not my job. It's your job as the student to take care of your things." And I went, "I'm a minor. I don't know what's going on in my academics. Maybe in my like
Yeah.
college, like in college age, yes, I'll need to be able to keep on top of my academics, but I'm in high school."
Yeah.
And so she was like, "Well, you're just not going to be able to graduate with
And
your
she
friends in
wasn't an
2 weeks."
answer.
Yeah.
That's your job.
I left crying. I literally was in tears leaving that counselor's office, and my friend came up to me and she was like, "Are you okay? What happened?" And I explained to her what
Mhm.
happened, and she was like, "Okay, let's go talk to somebody else and see what
Yeah.
happened." We went and looked at my transcripts, and it was because when I had been moving, um, the someone somewhere got confused and
Mhm.
put a math credit that I didn't have to take in my transcripts, and that was the reason they said I was missing a credit. So for about like I was supposed to graduate with all of my friends in 2015. I
Mhm.
didn't do that because of this thing.
Yeah.
So I did like an online course.
2015, damn.
Yeah. I took an online course like the 2 weeks before graduation,
Mhm.
and I took a test and I failed. So
Mhm.
then they were like, "Oh, you can come back again in a week and try again." So I restudied and I remembered the questions and I put in the correct answers this time. I still
Mhm.
got the same score. And I was so confused
Yeah.
because I was like, "Why is it doing this?" So then I went to somebody else and they were like, "Have you talked to like the Native American counselor that we have here? Because you're a native, right?" And I went, "There's a Native American counselor?" I was like, "I have never been told this."
Yeah.
So I went to her and I'm telling her everything that's going on, everything that led to it. And she was like, "They told you at 2 weeks before graduation?" And I went, "Yeah." And she's like, "And they told you, you're missing this like specific credit?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Okay." She's like, I'm not saying this, but I'm saying this. They do this a lot to Native kids
Mhm.
and people of color because it means that if you redo like a semester or a year, they get more funding for having more people
Then
of color
yeah.
in their school." And I went, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And she said this to me and I was just so upset and it really hurt me like emotionally and mentally. Like I didn't go to school for a whole year after that. Like I didn't
Mhm.
graduate and I didn't graduate with my friends, nothing. So I didn't like they were like, "Are you gonna
Yeah.
re-enroll again for the next year?" And my dad's like, "No, she's
Mhm.
not because you just traumatized her."
Yeah.
I couldn't step on like a high school campus for a really long time because it traumatized me to even talk to a counselor or even step foot on the campus. And then my mom was like, "I really want you to get your like either you get your GED or your diploma because I really want you to just graduate high school. Like I
Mhm.
don't want this to set you back
Yeah.
anything." And so I was like, "Thanks, mom. I don't really want to do anything." And she was just like, she's like, "No, I'm gonna do something." And it's so funny. She went to my old high school on the reservation and explained the entire situation to the principal. And the principal's like, "Give me her transcripts. Let me see what's going on." And she checks out my transcripts and she's like, "Oh my god. Okay, well we can help her with this. We have an online like school
Mhm.
thing she can do, but she has to come back to the reservation. So she has to be here." So I did that and I went back. Do you want to know how long it took me to get my high school diploma on the res for me to do all this?
Like a week.
They told me at the non-reservation school it was going to take me a whole year again to
Mhm.
get both of those half credits.
Mhm.
I got my diploma in 6 days on an online thing. I went back and they were like, "You'll get it. It'll be really quickly. Trust me, you will do great." Did it again, 6 days. Literally the day that they were gonna tell me I was gonna get my diploma was the day I did the state testing. They went
Mhm.
and got the results right there. It took
Yeah.
me 6 days, like a year and 6 days to get that diploma after I went through
Mhm.
this really traumatic thing.
Yeah.
And, like, after that, I didn't wanna go to college, obviously. Like, when you go through something so traumatic like that in education, you don't wanna
Mhm.
deal with anything. So,
Yeah.
I didn't, but then a lot of
Mhm.
pestering and a lot of, "Just try it, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Give it literally give it the college try.
I had my mom, like, kinda guilt trip me. Yeah, my mom guilt tripped me into going to college just because, like, my parents wanted something good for me.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, just do your 4 years. If you
Mhm.
don't like it, join the Red Cross." But they were like, "But we think you're gonna enjoy it."
Yeah.
And so me and my mom one day were, like, watching the news, and we saw UNCP, because they have, Robinson County is home of the Lumbee tribe,
Yeah.
and so they had a powwow on the news. I was like, "Oh, shit." I was like, "Yo, I didn't." Well, because the area that we live in Horry County,
Mhm.
like, out in South Carolina, um, not a lot of Native people. The Southeast has, like, complex history,
Yeah.
um, which we talk about later on, but it has such a complex history, and I'm glad that I've been exposed to it, just knowing
Mhm.
that it's just so different. You know, indigenous, like, being indigenous globally is just so different.
Yeah.
Different languages, different dialects, different customs, like.
Yeah.
But then you look within your own kind of, like, where you are,
Mhm.
like, acknowledging whose land you're on, and I'm not talking land acknowledgments, that's, like, the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You need to really acknowledge who's where you're standing,
Yeah.
how many feet have touched the soil that you're standing on right now, and so I'm happy that I went, and, like, I've also been discouraged in public education. I mean, I went to Erie County Public School.
Mhm.
And I experienced a lot of racism from students. I mean, I went to a high school that literally had the Warriors as their mascot. And now, to some people, a mascot may not mean nothing,
Mhm.
but to an urban native youth who's the only native in your school right now or in the grade, because there was like two other girls, I believe. One came later on when I was in high school. And then there was one girl, but she was a grade above me.
Yeah.
So we didn't really like get to like actually meet and like talk. Like we talked after and we both graduated, but and I understand like teachers. Teachers can be underpaid. And so, yeah, it's not your job to raise children. It is
Mhm.
your job to teach people, like to teach children and like to educate them, not to bring them up to this world. And that's a fault on parenting today, which entirely different conversation. But with teachers, I'm not a teacher, but I feel like reflecting on teachers that I remember is they related to me like a lot. Granted, they may not have been like native, but or like a teacher I had. But I've met teachers that like really have you reflect on the
Mhm.
person that you want to be and really encourage you and really uplift you and they advocate for you. I I will say I didn't have a teacher like that until I went into college and it was a professor. Because like I was the only like native girl in my school, technically in my grade.
Mhm.
I've been told that I should go back to the res to get education. And I was like, it
Mhm.
doesn't I was like, "It doesn't work like that." And
Yeah,
he was
you go
like,
back and they're like, "Cousin."
"Yeah." He ate me up though. He ate my ass up. He said, "Whoa."
Mm.
Like, he ate
Don't
when
think those are the words you wanna say.
he said something of like, "Well, if you're so offended by the mascot, why did your parents send you to this school?" And I said, "Oh, you actually ate." I couldn't even be mad at him. I was
You're
like, "What
like,
the
"Mm,
fuck?"
good question."
I was like, "Actually, let me write that down. Let me text my mom. Why did you send me here?" But,
Uh,
so I've had, like, people say, like, ignorant things to me, and then I think there was a point where I kinda stopped, like, representing myself as, like, a native girl.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah.
I get that.
I, like, didn't wanna talk about my culture anymore. Whenever my mom or my grandparents would talk about, like, "Oh, we had to do ceremony or something," I'd be like,
I
"Oh,
I
I about got popped in the mouth." I'm done.
I definitely, like, identity is such a huge thing to Native youth. I
Mhm.
remember growing up, so the teacher that really I always go back to and remember whenever I think of, like, any, like, type of shit I'm going through with school is, funny enough, her name's Miss Garcia. She was the whitest Mexican lady I've ever seen in my life. She had, like, red hair and everything, but I remember being in her class, and she and she was always so funny. She called me Big D. I'll be walking down the hallway, and she'll be like, "Big D." I'll be like, "Okay." And how people at that private she's like, "I learned so much about people in private school, like rich people, and
Mhm.
how they're literally very flawed human beings as well, because, like, of just, like, the things, like, how they would try to do education and try to, like, cheat and everything."
Mhm.
And I would, like, listen to her, and I'd be like,
That's why they
"And we're
commit
sti"
so much tax
yeah,
fraud.
I'm like, "And we're sitting over here with our, like, shitty desks and all of, like, everything." She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "So," she's like, "When I tell you, like, if you wanna continue your education, don't compare yourself to other people
Yeah.
because they're probably going through something else that you're not
Mhm.
going through, and it's not gonna be fair to them if you just assume to the up at them." And so I
Yeah.
was like, "You know what? Shit.
I think
Maybe I'm the asshole."
that's what I worry for of, like, wherever you send your children for education, whatever is accessible to you,
Yeah.
you have to educate your children. And, I don't know if I'll have the time or the finances to do homeschooling.
Yeah.
And I also want my children exposed to the outside world because it is also your job as a parent to teach your children. And even, like, I know when I have kids, they're gonna come home with math questions, I'm like, "God damn it, get the fuck out of that shit." But I'll sit there and do it with them and learn it together
Yeah.
because that also builds a bond with your children.
They know they can go to you even if you don't know
Yeah,
the question like, the answer to the
yeah.
question. They'll be like, "Oh, my mom doesn't know, but she'll help me figure it out."
Mhm. We figure it out together, and, like, that's how my mom was with me. And so, like, I know I'll be like that with my kids just because, like, I'm a little fucking nerd. And but, like, I just worry sending my kids to public school, not because of what they're gonna be learning, because
Mhm.
I, as a parent, can easily be like, "Well,
I
history is not always green on the other side
Yeah,
here."
because I feel because you went to school we both have experiences off the reservation.
Mhm.
For me, on the reservation, we got a lot of our tribe central, like, history,
Mhm.
language, and cultural classes, and you don't get those off the
Yeah.
reservation. But there's also certain schools, like, that are immersion schools where you
Mhm.
only speak in the native
Yeah.
language.
That's
So
how it is at, like, School 9 up in, like, Buffalo, I believe.
yeah, so
Or they
it's
teach the classes.
yeah, so it's very different depending on what school you go to. I remember when I was in middle school, one of the really like big Navajo schools you wanted to go to was like, I think it was called Navajo Tech. Um,
Sorry.
it was in the place of Navajo,
Mhm.
so I don't think I'm getting that right. It was like a really like kind of like a private school where you had to have really good grades to go to it.
Mhm.
I know my friend went to it and graduated, but it's like a school for smart people.
I know that in Akwesasne, I'm pretty sure they probably do this in a lot of Native communities. There are some children up there that only speak Gunyageha.
Yeah.
They don't
Th
speak English, they don't know English, like, they only, understand in Gunyageha,
yeah.
and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And them, like, learning their language and
Wait, we're adults.
yeah.
We can swear now, and
Yeah,
it was so funny because I was just like, "This is really interesting, like, linguistics is truly really interesting to me, I need to know more."
yeah,
And that's what I did, I just continued to do more, and then I got both degrees, and I was like, "This is really fun." And I wasn't even gonna get a master's because I was like, "Pff, I don't
yeah.
wanna get a master's. I don't wanna do research, that's weird." And then
Lame.
I know, it's like,
And
okay."
now I'm always any little thing that I'm told, I'm always looking it up.
Yeah.
I'm always looking
Oh,
at new books.
the amount of books that we have bought, I need to,
Mhm.
like I think for the next episode, we need to total up how much money we've spent on books.
And
It
it's such
it's my
a
tuition.
yeah, it's such a privilege to be able to do that. I
Yeah.
mean, I think anytime that I go into, like, research or even, like, my own education, I always just tie it back to what I was taught. Like, that I think that's the thing with education is don't get it confused where you come from.
Yeah,
Don't get it confused.
I think, like, we both came from really
Mhm.
bad interactions with education, but then the moment that we got to higher education, we changed it to where in our story, it's not gonna be a bad thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's something that's gonna fuel our need to get
Yeah.
our degrees, and it's one of the things because when I was, like, a kid and we got a TV with, like, satellite TV,
Mhm.
and my grandpa would watch, like, WWE and John Wayne films, I would sit there and watch it with him because I was like, "This is my bonding time with my grandpa." I'm like,
Yeah.
"This is what I'll do." But watching a John Wayne film and you're sitting there and you're like, "Oh, he's a cowboy," and then
Yeah.
or Clint Eastwood films,
Yeah.
and I'd be
Or
like
Rifleman.
yeah, and I'd be like, "Why are we the bad guys in
Yeah.
this?
Why are we always the
Like,
bad
why are we
guys?
always the negative thing when throughout history, we've just been trying to live and be peaceful because
Mhm.
that's I mean, obviously, we'll have conflicts regardless. We won't always agree with each other,
We were
but
trying to survive.
yeah,
We
and
didn't
so
have time for
I was like, "Why is that our story when that's never been our story?
mhm.
So, why not try to change it?" And then I remember I remember growing up watching Gabriel Iglesias,
Oh my gosh.
and I remember hearing him do his set one day, and he was like, "Oh, what's it like?" Like, so he was imitating someone, and
Mhm.
they were asking him, like, an interviewer was like asking him, like, "What's it like to be a Mexican comedian, a Mexican this?" And he was like, "I'm a comedian who's Mexican.
Mhm.
I'm not a Mexican comedian. I'm a comedian who's Mexican." And I was like, "Yeah, why do all the ethnic groups have to be, you know, I'm
Yeah.
a native actor, I'm a native filmmaker.
Mhm.
I'm a filmmaker who happens to be native." You don't go around saying, "What a white filmmaker doing."
Yeah.
You don't say that stuff. Why do all the other, like, ethnic groups have to be the ones to have the label in front of their thing?
We always have to be the ones to identify ourselves just so racist can be racist.
Yeah, like, it doesn't make any sense. So, when I started going into film school and someone was asking me, like, "Oh, what do you wanna do?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I wanna make documentaries. I would really love to make, like, a Power Ranger film because that's my favorite thing, or, like, a superhero film." And they're like, "You don't wanna make, like, a native documentary because 'Cause you're native, right?" And I said, "Why do I have to be the one to always do it, though? Why can't I be a
Mhm.
filmmaker who's native that just made a superhero film?
Yeah.
Why do I have to make native documentaries all the time?
Mhm.
Why do I have to make the native-centric shows?
Yeah.
Why can't I just be myself, show my interest, and that be
Mhm.
the representation for a native kid that's gonna be
Yeah.
like, 'Oh, I can do that. I don't have to focus my identity around being just a native person.'"
And that's not even like tribal identity.
Yeah, it's
That's the broad, generalized identity of what a native person's supposed to have.
mhm.
But it's like we vary.
Yeah,
We vary from coast to coast. And
literally.
like literally, we vary from
Right here,
coast to coast.
the West and the East.
And like, yeah, we're gonna have our similarities because at a time we've all interacted. I don't know why history makes it seem like we have not interacted with each other and
Yeah,
we've all stayed in our regions.
yeah,
We've all interact that's how corn was distributed throughout the fucking states. Or not the states, but, like, through the land.
yeah.
And there is different types of corn.
Also, we didn't just stay here. Like,
No.
there's like a whole tribe of like First Nations people in Canada that
Mhm,
speaks similar like language to Navajo.
mhm,
And in their history, they say, I think we're separated from the Navajo
mhm.
people and we just got separated somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, that proves we never just stayed in one spot.
Yeah.
We were always moving.
I
Not
mean
not because we were nomadic,
yeah.
it's because that's just how we understood how the land works. We were supposed to let it revitalize
Mhm.
itself, and then we would move on to another place and
Yeah.
do whatever we needed to do.
That was our job. Our and it's like it's so frustrating to try to explain these, like, ideas that we have because it's, "How do I put this in English?" And it's not even like how do I explain my thought
Yeah.
process of my relationship to the land?
Mhm.
Because you're gonna look at that and go, "Oh, you're an environmentalist." No.
No.
I have a very I listen to everything.
Yeah.
You have to. Like, you have to notice everything, and
Mhm. Everything affects everything.
you
It's
have to be
a domino
cautious.
effect or it's basically a circle.
I mean, like, what was it? Litter, can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't
Do you,
stand do I cry?
do you single tear every time you see it? It's just
Every time. It's
it's
so it's so bad,
it
and, like,
yeah,
people are contributed to it by, like, consumerism,
yeah.
where I
It's
don't wanna see your fucking blind box on the side of the road. Put it in the goddamn trash where it belong or don't buy it at all.
yeah. I think the thing too is, like, It's not even like that's the thing is, like, people go, "Oh, you're a Native person, you don't like it when I litter, are you gonna cry because it's the land?" No, you're just being a dick at the end of the
Yeah.
day, you're just being a dick because that doesn't just only affect me, that'll affect
The
everybody. The
happenings is
litter
gonna
the
happen, and
litter
Mark Wahlberg isn't here to save us.
we can't talk to the trees for you, okay? It's
Yeah.
not Avatar.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not
I'm not gonna connect to it, like, what do you want me to do? But, like,
tell
that's
him, "Stop. Stop fighting!"
look at me. I'm just kidding.
Look at me, look at
Look at
me.
me. Look
This
at
isn't
this
who
isn't
you
you.
are.
But yeah, like that's just the thing is like it affects everybody, not just us. It's
It
gonna affect you in the future.
it literally costs and here oh my god. Just cut all of that and we put it in someone else.
All right. Well, thank you, Angelina, for being here. Thank you to whoever is listening. Is there anybody alive out there? God.
Everybody out there.
Oh my god. But yes, thank you for listening to our ramblings and everything that we're probably gonna also say going forward again.
Yeah. I will definitely expand on them. I mean, this is the first time that we've like sat down and like put a camera up. It's awkward
Yeah,
to
it'll be
be
awkward
real.
for the first few, but thank you for listening.
Yeah.
How do you say thank you?
Oh no. No. That means bye. Nyawa. Nyawa.
All right. Shall we say goodbye?
Yeah, onagiwahi.
I'll go on it. You're funny. All right. Bye.
Bye.